This week's shows are going to be brought to you by Amber Lolli, a really great product. I encourage you guys to go check it out. AmberLolli.com. Link is down below in the description.
Hey, look, I want to talk about this Amber Lolli product again. Whenever something good comes along, I do want to talk about this. My neck, I had a kick in my neck from hell, and the pain was, it gets to a point where you get headaches. So I just grabbed the cream and I rubbed that crap on the back of my neck. After a while, you don't even realize that the pain is gone. You're just going, and how we are several hours later, and there's no pain. And it works really quick. I like that. So joint pain and muscles, sore muscles, nice. And then here's the thing about me. I get offered all the time. People want to come on, they want to be sponsors, they want to be this. My thing is, if I don't use your product, I'm not interested. You know, I can sell out everything and make a ton of money, but no, you know, my subscribers to me are very important. But this product here, absolutely, I'm going to endorse this. I like it a lot. AmberLolli.com.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back to Iraq. Again, it still looks like the right steps moving forward look positive. Our boy Al-Kademi here might be getting back in office. We're going to talk about that. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button, because when you do, it helps us get past the algorithm that YouTube puts on us and keeps us from being shadow banned. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. The disclaimer here is I'm not a financial advisor, a lawyer, or an accountant. The information that I share with you, I do freely. It is of my own opinion. Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. That's right, head on over to Money Metals when you want to buy gold and silver. Keep in mind, if you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Hey, right now, a special offer for my audiences only. You have a chance to win 100 free American Silver Eagles. That's over $3,000 in value. And all you have to do is enter your email to win. That's it. That's right, there's no obligations to purchase. The link is down below in the description, so head on over there, enter to win. Yeah, between now and December 31st of this year to enter. The only way you can for sure not win 100 silver American Eagles is by not entering at all. So do yourself a favor and enter your email so you have a chance to win. So before we get into Iraq, I have to say it's kind of funny because I played that Amber Lolli commercial in the group as well as on my profile. And people were laughing. They're like, do you hear the words in the background of you? I'm like, yeah, I know. What Amber Lolli did was they listened to me speak openly during a show about the product and they just used my words. So I use the words, I rub that crap on the back of my neck. Not like the product's actually crap, but I'm just using it kind of like a metaphor, just real quick. You know, I don't know if you want to call it a metaphor. But anyways, I just say, hey, look, I grabbed it. I wasn't expecting a whole lot into it. People don't understand how much product is sent to me all the time. There is a ton of it. And so they want me to test out the products. Sometimes I don't have enough time because I don't know what to think too much of the product. I actually let people that I know, I say, hey, take this product, try it, let me know what you think. It just so happened that during the show on the Doc and Pimpy show, a gentleman by the name of George sent us over the Amber Lolli lotion. It's CBD oil. You know what I mean? Mixed in lotion. And I told Doc, I don't have a lot of expectation. Everybody promises hey, I got the best in the world or whatever. But we rubbed it on in the morning and we were talking. as time went on, it was dawning on me that I go, first of all, I don't like when it makes you feel greasy. And second of all, the product was working. We just weren't really paying attention to it because the pain was gone. We spent several hours in the studio, and I said to him, I go, this works really good. So as we're talking, they're actually filming in the studio. And so they thought it was funny to play the clip in one of our interviews. And so Amber Lolli picked up on it and made that commercial. So yeah, that's where it's from, you guys. I don't think they care about the words that I use. They were just happy that I liked the product. And so I told them, look, when it comes to all these products that I get all the time in the mail that they want me to talk about on my program, I won't, if I don't use the product, I'm not going to talk about it. There's a lot of products that I have tried that I didn't like and said no. There are other products that I have liked, and I said, yes, we'll talk about it. But I don't want to be pushing all kinds of crap onto my subscribers if it's not going to benefit them. So anyways, yes, you guys, I know. That's where the commercial comes from. They took the words off of an interview that I was doing. That's actually was supposed to be cut out of the interview, but they left it in there as we were speaking openly, and it turned out to be a cool little commercial, by the way. So hopefully you guys try the product. I actually like it. They sent me a whole bunch of it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, sorry, got sidetracked. Let's get back into Iraq. So here's what's going on that I noticed. There is a lot of positive things working in Iraq. All right, we know these things. We know the early elections took place and a government's being formed. We know over the last, year and a half, Al-Qadimi appears to be the real deal Holyfield. He's been doing everything he could to get the corruption weaved out of the government, doing what he could to develop the private sector so that we're not 100%, or I should say, so that the budget doesn't rely like 90% now. Al-Qadimi is doing what he can to develop the private sector so that the budget isn't relying on oil sales, which is big. In 2020, we saw the economies were shut down everywhere. People were told to stay home, don't go to work, the whole 9 yards. Well, if everybody's sitting at home doing nothing, you can't travel, you can't drive. Well, oil prices fell. We know this because the demand was lowered. It affected Iraq in a major way to the point where they had to devalue their currency. Things were able to work out. They had a good budget, a decent 2021 year. They're building the private sector. They're finding new oil and oil fields. They're working on moving quickly through the World Trade Organization. They're doing what they can to remove themselves off the blacklist in other countries. I think the only one remaining is over there in the UK. And the UK is saying, look, you got to take certain steps to prove to us that there's no more money laundering and you're not funding terrorists. They're the last country to keep them on the blacklist. We know that our troops are getting ready to leave, restoring the sovereignty of Iraq. We know that their debt is almost paid off with Kuwait for invading them. These are big. All these things are big. All these things are steps necessary to get to the revaluation of the dinar. I still think it's going to go up in increments. So, and the reason for that is this. I want you to think about this. I know this makes me the bad guy just for bringing it up, but I say stay grounded. If 90% of their budget is funded through oil sales, that's not a safe and secure position to be in. If something happens once again like this new variant, there's a possibility of having to shut down economies everywhere, which means the demand for oil is reduced again. This will affect Iraq. So what we want to see them do is continue to build the private sector so that they're not so reliant on oil. Get that, it was around 95% and 96%. I believe the latest figure is 90% of this budget coming in 2022 is reliant on the sale of oil. So they lowered it slightly, but they need to continue to do what it takes to lower that percentage of oil sales for their budget. A strong private sector means you have a strong economy. A strong economy leads to a strong dinar. So I still think it's going to go up in increments until they developed enough of the private sector that the amount of reliance on oil is down somewhere around, 20% versus 90%. Do you see where I'm going with this? More job opportunities for the youth, less people reliant on the government, Stronger economy leads to stronger dinar. So just hang tight. We're seeing them take all the right steps. They haven't taken this many positive steps in the right direction in a long time. So far, so good. We just really want to see Al-Kadhimi, in my opinion, get back into the prime minister position. So you can see here, 2 conditions for Sadr in exchange for the inclusion of the forces of the Shiite framework in the government. So remember, the Shiite framework, these are the people that oppose the election, the Iranian-backed puppets. They met with Sadr, and Sadr saying, look, if you guys want to be included as part of this government, you're going to have to do some things for me. So it says that head of the political party, the Sadrist movement, and of course it's Sadr, on Thursday gave 2 conditions set by the leader to the leaders of the coordination framework during the meeting held early today, in exchange for entering the next government. So they said to the news, one of the flashes of Sadr's meeting with the leaders of the coordination framework in Amir's house is his call for national majority government, the fight against corruption and the accountability of the corrupt in all governments. Sadr stressed that if the leaders of the framework wish to enter the government, they must hand over the weapons of the armed factions to the popular mobilization and hold the corrupt accountable. So this was the fear of Maliki's people, that they would reopen the corruption files and go after those individuals and make them accountable. I have a feeling he's going to do it, as should every country. You need to find out what politicians have been corrupt, and there has to be some accountability. He explained Sadr did not go to Amir's house for the government understandings, but rather to block the pretext for those who say the civil peace may be in danger. Sadr assured the attendees that civil peace is a red line for everyone. He also mentioned that the religious authority in Iraq has not met with politicians for a long time, which indicates its dissatisfaction with the political blocs. So Sadr called on everyone saying, let us send a fatherly message, love and apology to the reference and the people, and let us present a government of national political majority to save Iraq. Remember, Sadr is more of a nationalist. So he is going to go in there and do what it takes to help the Iraqi people. And I have to be honest, I'm pumped about that. Excited about this because this is great news too. Al-Kadhimi meets with Sadr. So on Thursday, Al-Kadhimi met with the head of the Sadrist movement, Sadr, in Baghdad. So all it says is that they met. Now Sadr had already endorsed him earlier. As a matter of fact, remember, Al-Kadhimi met with a lot of different factions before the election and was endorsed by all of them. So it really looks good in his favor that he will be back in a prime minister position, which I like that idea. So this article gives you a lot more details of what happened during the meeting with Sadr and the other CI forces. Some of the things that were talked about right here, that there must be a national majority government. The resistance was, is, and will remain HS. It is necessary to refer to the reference of Najaf exclusively as a reference for all. The government of the national majority does not agree on its quotas at all. Fighting corruption is one of our priorities and goals that we will not compromise on. And Sadr put all points in a letter in a frank discussion whose goals is the interest of Iraq and nothing else. I admire that. Sounds like 45, to be honest with you. So look, the other government, even with Al-Kadhimi, he was put in a position they couldn't do anything about it at the time. They had a compromise. Remember, they killed his best friend over the idea that the corrupt people might be investigated. We know Maliki didn't like the idea. That's because I have a feeling that guy has a lot of files on about him being corrupt. Of course, there's repercussions for that. Here's some more key issues. It says, take the necessary practical steps to fight corruption, hold the corrupt accountable, and stop the approval of waste of public money. Now, remember, one of the goals of Iraq is to be removed from the UK's blacklist, which accuses Iraq of money laundering as well as funding terrorists. So Al-Kadhimi took all the necessary steps to try to get him on the right track. Right here, you can see Sadr saying the same thing. It's necessary for them to take the steps to fight corruption and also make sure that those individuals who are found guilty of corruption be held accountable. Emphasis on exit of foreign forces according to the announced timetables and development of mechanisms to ensure that weapons are confined to the hands of the state, unlike what happened in Afghanistan. And we know there's a timetable, and the timetable was supposed to be 2 weeks, is what we were told. We are now into that second week. Let's see if the forces start moving and making sure that Iraq can stand on its own 2 feet and that a group of terrorists just don't overrun the country and take it over. We don't want that. Protecting, supporting, and organizing the popular mobilization in a manner that enhances its roles in maintaining security in Iraq. Now, the Popular Mobilization Group was a group of people that fought side by side with the American soldiers to fight ISIS. Now, this next one is a little weird. It says criminalization of normalization and everything related to it. Not sure exactly what that means. Joint work to preserve the constants of the Iraq people in addressing moral and social deviations in accordance with legal frameworks. Work to raise the economic level of deprived areas and remove political competition from all service projects and remove disadvantaged areas from these areas. Nice. So I like what Sauter's saying, but again, they say all the right words, politicians I'm talking about. So actions speak louder than words. Let's hope that Sauter is a man of his word. Representing the two ruling parties, Kurdish delegation in Baghdad soon to discuss formation of the government. It's not a big article, but it says right here on Thursday, the political sources revealed an up-and-coming visit of Kurdish delegation that includes representatives of two Kurdish parties to Baghdad, specifying the time of the visits. A source said in an interview that after the approval of the federal courts, that's what we're waiting for. So the appeal people are done with the process. Everything has been sent to the courts. We're just waiting for them to ratify the election or call for a new election, which I don't think is going to happen. So Kurdistan's just waiting for that to happen. Once they do, they have their political parties that are going to go over and help start the process with developing this new government. So I really think we're on track. So far, Iraq's doing everything it can to regain its sovereignty, to get removed off the blacklist. We got more oil in the fields that need to be drilled and discovered. We need to develop the private sector so people have jobs, but in addition to that, less reliance on oil for the budget. The elections are over. Corruption is being dealt with. And we know that Sauter met with Al-Qademi. Let's hope something positive comes out of that. And we see this continuation of great work. Anyways, that's it for now. You guys hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so. Because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.